What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my 31 and 31 movie reviews for this spooky month of October. And today is day 24. So, we are talking about 1993's Ticks. Yes, Ticks. Movie I've never seen before. This was suggested by my homie, Chris Eggert, aka my motherfucking homie. Um, Chris suggested this. He said, you should do this movie, and I was like, I've never seen this movie. He's like, it's great. So I was like, all right, let's check it out. I'll put it on the list, and I put it on the list, and I did check it out last night. And let me say, this is a weird fucking movie, but I actually enjoyed it. This movie is directed by Tony Randall, who I know from Hellraiser 2. He was the director for Hellraiser 2, and he was also a director for Amityville in 1992, which is not that good. So I liked Hellraiser 2. I did not like Amityville in 1992. There's a lot of twos in this, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I go out with the rest of the cast. Somebody in here that I never thought I'd see this young, because the first time I seen him was the miniseries, was Seth Green. Seth Green is in here playing a normal role. A normal role for Seth Green. That is weird. And he killed it. Killed it in this movie. Another person I know from a couple other horror movies. That is Amy Dolenz. I remember her from, again, remember the twos. I remember her from Witchboard 2, the Gateway, or the Devil's Gateway, or whatever you want to call it. And I remember her from Pumpkinhead 2, which she was really good in that, and I love Pumpkinhead 2. I even like Pumpkinhead 2 more than I like the original sometimes, and a lot of people are like, blasphemy, but I'm like, it's not that bad. I think the second one's a lot more better, in my opinion. I like the second one a lot better. The Blood Wings. Somebody in here I did not expect to see in a straight role, and I'm not talking straight like gay, whatever. I'm talking normal, not comedic, straight up role. And that is Alfonso Ribeiro, who other people know him as Carlton Banks. He plays a gangster in here, or a wannabe gangster. I call him a wannabe gangster in here, but he plays it pretty straight. Like he there's no comedic tones to it. He just plays a normal role, and it's weird to see him in that role after seeing him as Carlton, and I still can't see him in this role. I still see him as Carlton. So he's in here too, and of course we have our favorite cameo of the 80s and of the 80s, and mostly a lot of horror movies that come out, and that's Clint Howard. Clint Howard's in here too. He ends up playing a drug dealer who's growing pot that gets killed by these ticks. So to give you a little backstory on the plot, it starts off with this guy is making this fucking with chemicals and shit, and somehow it spills into the wilderness and starts to mutate these ticks, which are usually this big, and they become this big. Like, I don't like bugs as is, so once I was watching the movie, I was like, fuck that. Fuck that. Like, no, I don't want to go in wilderness anymore. I don't like ticks. I don't like bugs. Bugs freak me out. So do rodents. Like, no. So that was kind of fucked. You got some good. This movie looks like it was made the same style as Pumpkinhead 2, kind of like the almost TV like quality on how it was filmed. A bunch of movies got from the 80s were filmed like that. So it's got that in it. But the movie's really good. You end up seeing these ticks like mutate and just and if you're against animal like torture or animal cruelty and movies that were big back in the 80s because it was realistic and dogs die in these horror movies. A dog does die in here, so I do want to throw that warning up here in a really fucked up way. Uh, but yeah, like I said, this movie's pretty fucking sweet. I enjoyed this movie. The special effects was really good. So for the gore scenes that they did show, it was really dope. For a lot of the shit that they showed off screen was fine because we still got shit too. Um, The creatures, the ticks alone, fucking are nasty looking in the best way possible. And then there's moments where they're skirting in across the ground. I'm like, nope, fuck that. I see that shit in the country. I'm getting back in my truck and I'm going back home. Fuck that noise. Um, the score was good. It was definitely a good score. I definitely want to watch it again just because I really had a good time watching this movie. Um, Again, this was during the time when they did all these animal attack creature flicks. They were doing Food of the Gods, and they were doing Willard, and they were doing Day of the Animals, and they were doing Slugs, and Squirm, and Ticks. Um, they nest with cockroaches. Like they did a lot. There's an era of horror movies that they did a lot of these type of movies, and they work as a niche. Like it worked for me. It was really creepy. I could see bugs getting mutated like that. That's when I get into a bomb shelter and burn everything that fucking comes near me. So yeah, so this movie's pretty sweet. If you want to watch it, it is streaming on Tubi at the moment. So definitely check it out. Um, I definitely want to watch Slugs again. I haven't seen that movie in forever. Uh, I listened to a podcast as well called Kill by Kill, and they were just talking about that. It was an old episode, and I was like, huh, I've never seen Slugs in a long time. I think I need to watch Slugs and Squirm. Squirm's fucked up. I like Squirm too. So yeah, this is on Tubi. Give it a check out. It's not too bad. It's a fun little 90-minute film. Waste of time, you know. So today was actually supposed to be the taking of Deborah Logan. So that is going to be tomorrow's. I put ticks in front of it just because I was hanging out with my girl last night and she didn't really want to watch something that creepy before bed because she doesn't want to fucking wake up with like nightmares and shit. And I get that. I get that. For people like us that just, we sleep like babies when we see the most fucked up shit in horror and we don't care. So yeah, so tomorrow's review for the 25th, day 25, is going to be the taking of Deborah Logan. Um, that is also again suggested by my homie Chris Moore. I am definitely going to give him a shout out tomorrow as well when I do this video. And if you haven't caught up and you love the content I'm putting out, if you haven't caught up, go on to the YouTube channel, go into my folder for 31 and 31, and I have all my 31 and 31 reviews up to today. So definitely check them out if you haven't, and please give a like and subscribe. I would very well appreciate it. It'll get me bigger into YouTube, and I could be able to do more cool things for you guys, for the local 716 people, and other things that I can only do for YouTube people, which I'm going to do as well. But I need to get those numbers up. So please, I appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe, comment. That would be amazing. So until tomorrow, stay creepy, my friends.